How do you feel when President Obama mentioned people of no faith in his inaugural address? Was it a positive step for openness and tolerance? And there's another kind of related question that you guys could elaborate on. How do you both think the election of Obama will affect this sort of religious dialogue?
I can tell you this. I teach math at a high school, public high school. They stopped, we stopped class for 50 minutes. We went to our homeroom classes. I have a homeroom, and they let us watch the inauguration, which I thought was really cool. So we're watching the inauguration, and Barack Obama says something, and I'm paraphrasing here. You know, we are a nation of Christians and Jews, Muslims and Hindus, and non-believers. And a kid in the back of the classroom was like, Meta! Yes, right, okay, moving on. When I heard it, I mean, it was awesome to hear that, because I don't think I've ever heard anyone in politics really talk about non-religious people not in a pejorative way. And he didn't mean to insult anyone by it. He just said, look, they're part of this country. That's all I want. I'm not asking for anything else from him. But to be inclusive of that and included, and no one's ever done that. And he's done it a couple more times. He did it, I think, at a prayer breakfast the other day where he said, look, we're a nation of religious people and humanists. We're this and that. And I think that's awesome. In terms of how it's going to change, I mean, I don't think much is going to change for atheists, except that hopefully this is a president who will have more, hopefully, you know, people qualified in their fields. I think he'll give more, you know, he'll have people in science who really know what they're doing in the scientific fields, but I don't think that really changes anything for atheists. This is still a president who's all for faith-based initiatives. He's still allowing for religious discrimination. I mean, there's a lot of things that atheists have been trying to stop when Bush was in office. So I don't think a lot of it's changing. I think you're still going to see a lot of atheists mad at how Obama treats religion. But in terms of you know, how he's included us, the fact that he mentions us, I think is a big step. And no one's asking him for special favors or anything like that. We don't want him to like make the United States like this godless country or something. We're just, it's nice to be acknowledged, and I think that's very exciting.
There's this great, I think it's Austin Powers Gold, remember? When Austin Powers' dad says, you know, there's two things I hate in the world, not being tolerant of another person's culture and the Dutch. Which to me reflects so much of what I hear in regard to Christianity and politics, where there's a sense of, we need to be free, we need to be free, we need to be free, but it needs to be my kind of freedom, and not your kind of freedom. And being free in America means it has to be what I think freedom is. And in this respect, among Christians, I would be very liberal in terms of church-state divide, that I would have to say as an American, that there are things that I may disagree with religiously that I would have to support as an American, because as an American we can't use our faith to govern. I mean, we can't help it. I can't help it. I don't think Barack Obama can help. Faith is a part of who he is. But at the same time, I don't think the goal of America, and a lot of people disagree with me on this too, is that we're here to build a Christian state. There's a sense of it where we say, you know, let's let them all in. You know, this is a freedom where we let everybody in except those people. And I think it's a positive thing for Barack Obama to be aware of who he's leading, which isn't just a subset, but the whole.
Hemant, did you have any emotional experiences when visiting the various churches? Did they affect you in any way, emotionally, intellectually? Did it change your mind about some of the core values and beliefs for yourself?
Unfortunately, most of them didn't. They kind of preached to the choir the whole time. And so they didn't say a lot of things that really affected me. But every now and then you'd hear someone say, you know, like, what are you doing in your life that is making a difference? How are your relationships with other people? And those are questions that are good to be asked and good to think about. None of them made me, you know, raise my hands while they were singing. None of them made me, like, start weeping in the middle of a sermon, but some of them made me think, and I appreciated that. But unfortunately, most of the churches I went to never really went beyond that for me.
What do you think when you hear the name Jesus?
He's this guy that shows up in car dealerships. You know, from everything I read, I I don't think I'm knowledgeable enough to take a stance on whether, who the historical Jesus was, whether he existed or not, things like that. But from everything I read, I think Jay got it pretty much right on from where I'm coming from, which is from everything I've heard about him and from everything I've read when it comes to Christian writers and everything, he's a person who didn't see himself as, better than everyone else. He didn't really put as much thought into the social issues that the religious right has kind of made them out to be. He wanted his tribe, like you said, to do certain things, but he was the type of person that would want to reach out more to people that were outside the tribe and be friends with them and get to know them and talk to those people. I'm fine with Jesus. I don't have a lot of problems with him. I don't think he is the Son of God, but I also don't think he was like this sort of bad person or anything like that, but that's about the extent of it. Nice guy, that's about it.
I think Jesus is the Son of God.